Hello friends, today we will learn about sloughs and solid waste treatment and disposal. Sewage slush is a semi-liquid mass that is produced during the course of sewage or wastewater treatment processes. Sloughs may be regarded as a semi-solid liquid that contains solids in the range of 0.5 to 12%. The composition of the sludge is highly variable and depends on the source of raw sewage and its treatment process. It is called also as organic slurries for sewage sludge. Let's know about the sources and characteristics of sludge. There are the unit operations are the major sources of sludge. Let's know the units. First is screening, next is grit removal, third is primary sedimentation, fourth is secondary sedimentation, fifth is sludge processing unit. Chemical composition of sludge. The chemical composition of sludge is variable. The major constituents of sludge are proteins and other nitrogen containing compounds, grease and fats and cellulose, hydrocarbons, phosphorus, iron, silica, organic acids, heavy metals, pathogens and pesticides. Let's know about preliminary operations. The preliminary operations are carried out to provide a constant and homogeneous sludge for further processing. Let's know about sludge grinding. Grinding of sludge is carried out to cut a large mass of sludge into small pieces. For this purpose, hardened steel cutters and overload sensors are used. Sludge degritting. Let's know about sludge degritting. Sometimes removal of grit degritting is necessary for the effective treatment of sludge. Degritting can be carried out by applying centrifugal force to the following sludge. Cyclone degritters are usually employed for this purpose to separate grit particles from the organic sludge. Sludge blending. Sludge produced in primary, that is settlable solids, secondary settlable solids and biological solids, and tertiary, that is biological solids and chemical solids treatments is mixed, blended to produce a uniform mixture. Major sludges that and their characteristics. Let's know about major sludges and their characteristics. Sludge, first I will tell about sludge and characteristics then. Now first screening. First law is screening. It means its characteristics is to contains it contains organic and inorganic materials that can be easily removed. And then grit. In grit, what happens? It's rich in heavier inorganic solids and a good quality of organic matter, that is fats and grease. Now come to primary sludge. Obtained from primary setting tank, gray in color and often sieve in order. Now let's know about activated sludge. In activated sludge, what happens? Brownish to dark in color with flocculent appearance, usually has earthy odor and can be digested easily. Now come to trickling filter sludge. Brownish in color with inoffensive odor, fresh sludge, easily digestible. Scum, floatable materials. Let's know about scum. That is floatable material skimmed from the surface of primary and secondary settling tanks. Scum contains oils, fats, food waste, plastic materials, cotton, etc. Aerobically digested sludge. Aerobically digested sludge. What happens? Here, brownish to black in color with flocculent appearance, no offensive odor. Here, no offensive odor is seen. Now, let's know about anaerobically digested sludge. Dark brown to black in color, contains large quantities of gas. On driving the sludge, the gases escape. Now, septage. Slough of septic tanks, black in color, usually well digested due to long storage, offensive odor due to hydrogen sulfide. Let's know about slough storage. Storage of sloughs becomes necessary when the processing unit are not in operations, night shifts, weekends, short-term storage of sloughs is accomplished in settling tanks, while for long-term storage, specially designed tanks have to be used. Let's know about sloughs thickening. Concentration. The solid content of sloughs is variable and may range from 0.5 to 12%. It is necessary to concentrate the sloughs by removing some amount of liquid. Physical methods are employed for sloughs thickening. Let's know about gravity thickening. Gravity thickening is the most commonly used method for the thickening of primary sloughs. It can be carried out in the conventional sedimentation tank. As the sloughs gets concentrated by gravity, the supernatant can be returned to the treatment plant, that is primary settling tank. Let's know about floating thickening. Float, flotation, flotation thickening is the technique of choice for the treatment of sloughs from suspended growth biological treatment process. There are three types: flotation thickening processes, dissolved air flotation thickening processes, dissolved air flotation, dispersed air flotation, and vacuum flotation. Among these, dissolved air flotation is widely used. In this technique, air is passed through the sloughs that is held at high pressure. The air rises to the top of sloughs in the form of bubbles along with attached particles to form a sloughs blanket. This can be skimmed off at regular intervals. The efficiency of flotation thickening depends on the air to solids ratio. Centrifugal thickening. Centrifugal thickening is based on the principle of settlement of sloughs particles under the influence of centrifugal forces. Two types of centrifuges, that is solid bowel centrifuge and basket centrifuge, are used for this purpose. Although concentration of sloughs by centrifugal thickening is efficient, it involves high cost of maintenance and power consumptions. Let's know about rotary drum thickening. Thickening of the sloughs can be carried out by the use of rotary drums. As the sloughs is passed over the rotating screen drums, the solids separate from the water and the thickened sloughs rolls out at the drum ends. Sloughs stabilization. Sloughs require stabilization to achieve some objectives. Let's know about these objectives. To reduce the load of disease causing organisms. First point is to reduce the load of disease causing organisms. Second point is to inhibit the potential for putrefaction. Third is to eliminate offensive odors. Sloughs stabilization can be carried out by appropriate biological and chemical means. The techniques used for sloughs stabilization are lime stabilization, and heat treatment, aerobic digestion and composting. Let's know about lime stabilization. When lime is in the form of hydrated lime or quick lime, CaO, is added to the sloughs, the pH rises to 12 or higher. At high pH, the microorganisms cannot grow. Consequently, the sloughs will not putrefy, create unpleasant odors, and does not pose health hazards. In the lime pre-treatment, addition of lime is done prior to dewatering, while in lime post-treatment, it is done after dewatering. Now let's know about heat treatment. Heat treatment involves heating of sloughs for a short period, that is 250 degree, for about 30 minutes under pressure. High heat treatment helps in stabilization and conditioning of the sloughs. However, due to high cost, it is less frequently used. Anaerobic sloughs digestion. Anaerobic digestion of of sewage is one of the oldest form of biological treatment processes. The sludge is added and heated by external heat exchangers. As the sludge gets digested, the gas released comes out to the surfaces. Along with the gas, rises to the top to form a scum which can be removed. Let's know about single stage high rate digestion. This is characterized by high rate of sludge loading and its digestion under anaerobic conditions. The sludge particles, that is fats, oils, grease, also rise to the top to form a scum which can be removed. Let's know about single stage high rate digestion. This is characterized by high rate of sludge loading and its digestion under anaerobic conditions. The sludge particles, fats, oils, grease also rise to the top to form a scum which can be removed. Single stage high rate digestion. This is characterized by high rate of sludge loading and its digestion under anaerobic conditions. The sludge is continuously mixed by gas, heated and recirculated for optimal digestion. Two-stage digestion. There are two digestion tanks used in this process of high rate digestion. This first tank is used for digestion proper with mixing and heating facilities, while the second digester is employed for storage and concentration. Thermophilic anaerobic digestion. Sometimes sludge digestion can be carried out at relatively higher temperature by thermophilic bacteria. In fact, the digestion process is faster with increased bacterial destruction and improved dewatering at high temperature. But the major limitation is the requirement of high energy continuous heating. For this reason, the thermophilic anaerobic digestion process is not widely used. Now come to aerobic sludge digestion. Aerobic digestion of sludge from various sources like primary, secondary and tertiary treatments is becoming popular in recent years for some regions. Let's know about the regions. The digestion of volatile solids is as effective as in anaerobic digestion. Fertilizer value of sludge is much higher, lower capital and operational cost. Thank you.